to thank you for coming to my channel. I hope that you will choose to subscribe and maybe even hit the like button. And if you're really curious, you can look in the description below. I'm appreciative of your participation in my channel because I know that your time is precious and you have a lot of ways to invest your time. We're going to talk about a topic that is a little bit disturbing. I really want to talk about a situation that is what I consider to be a ritual. This situation is pretty common. It happens on TV all the time. It happens in movies. It happens in real life. It's something that typically is not targeted at a particular individual, but sometimes it is. There's been a number of movies over the years act in a movie, and then they, shortly after that, have a bad experience, they're cursed, or they actually pass away. The Dark Knight or Fast and Furious are a few examples where people have passed away after a ritualistic behavior occurs on television. Big events tend to have a feeling of that. Whether they are or not, we really don't know. But then there's also particular TV programs, ritualistic in nature. For example, American Horror Story. One that's called Delicate, that could be an example of a person being targeted. We know it's all fiction, but oftentimes these shows might mimic another person's life. They might be similar, or perhaps names are the same, or events are the same, or the person's life situation might be similar. Not meant to harm anyone, but just meant to capitalize on another person's life story. Typically, as I said, it's more generalized and it's not targeting a particular person. But when it is, that can be a negative situation for that person, whether the audience realizes this is happening or not. When it's done in a general way, this is closer to something like propaganda or conditioning, predictive programming. There is a storyline that will emulate what's going to happen in the future. The story will tell a tale that's similar to what actually ends up happening in the future. Family Guy, we know this has happened a lot of times. Some other shows as well. I personally don't watch a lot of TV comedies or TV series like that. I'm not an expert on which episodes are what, but I do see them occasionally on YouTube, and you can look it up and find them all over the internet. The reason why I talk about this is it's important to recognize when these things are happening. It's important to recognize when this is propaganda or predictive programming. Come on, Lou. There's Cookie. Cook. She's being very vigilant. She's not used to being out in the big, great big world. And here's my Lou. I'm gonna let her off the leash again so she can run around. Anyways, it's important to know when these things are happening, when predictive programming is occurring, or when you've seen it something similar happen, and you're looking back on, wait a minute, I think I've seen that before. Well, perhaps you have, and perhaps you haven't, but the idea is to be aware and to acknowledge to yourself when this is happening. Now, I don't recommend you do what I'm doing and post it on the internet because, you know, people are going to call you a conspiracy theorist or a crazy person or, you know, somebody trying to get attention or whatever. But this is what I know to be true, and I feel that, you know, it has happened quite often. There's lots of symbology out there, and if you do your research, there's lots of YouTube videos that will tell you what the symbology is and what it means. And then once you know that stuff, you're going to begin to recognize it all over the place in videos, in movies, on you know, big events, and you yourself will begin to become an expert at this stuff. Now, the goal is to maintain your balance while you go into research about things and not go one way or the other, you know, in terms of your belief system. We always want to maintain balance in our lives. Balance is so critical because when you're in balance, you are on the path to divine guidance. You're letting God guide you, and you're not being taken down a road, trafficked, so to speak, down a road that isn't one that you want to be on. The media can be hypnotizing. It's super hypnotizing, where we see things like, you know, sexy women or handsome men. We see things like money, lots of money, success and wealth, and things that we all, of course, would like to have. We get seduced by that, and money is not bad. Sexy people, they're not bad either. You have to look behind the facade. Who is this person? What do they represent? Are they really sincere? Can they be sincere? People on TV present a facade of being like an amazing person when you and I both know they are not. There's lots of news magazines that come out, or even the regular news that tries to protect people that are trying to exploit us, take our money, or perform these rituals, and we even idolize these people. And I know that I have done this myself. When I talk about people's life stories, I don't mean documentaries. I mean characters that are fictional characters that are emulating somebody's life story. They might use places, persons, or things, names, or events, or even family members, the way a person might dress, or the way that they talk, or, you know, things that happen to them, etc., that they weave into a story. And when you use those particulars, it can become a ritual. It's not that common, but it does happen. And it's important that we all recognize. And this can also be done on a personal level, where somebody tries to copycat somebody, or they talk bad about them, or they make fun of the way they dress, or their hair, or their makeup, or this or that, because they're enamored by that person. And the other times it's done in a way that's supposed to be like gaslighting them, or embarrassing them, or humiliating them, or something of that nature. We've all had our share of bullying. I know I've had a ton of it. And I know family members of mine, my children, some of them have also experienced it. I was bullied, I was assaulted, all kinds of stuff growing up as a kid. Okay, cook. Okay, we done. Let's go. Cook, wait. Okay, come on.